What's up everyone, welcome back to Jungle Gap. If you don't know who I am, my name is Coach Leo. I'm an ex-pro player and a challenge jungler. And today we're going to be talking all things fundamentals and our mentality when it comes to SoloQ. Now, I've titled this video, The Reality of SoloQ, because the reality is that we're not going to win every single game. But you might think, well, that's obvious. We all know that. However, do we play every game with that in mind? Do we make decisions in-game keeping that in mind? These questions are what I'm going to be looking to try and answer and explain today, as well as breaking down the most important jungle fundamentals for carrying your SoloQ games. What's up everyone? Just quickly wanted to talk to you guys about the Jungle Academy. Now, I don't want to, try and sell you guys on something that I don't truly believe is insane, but this program is probably one of the best resources that I've ever seen in terms of if you are serious about your improvement, if you're serious about climbing, then this is probably the way that I would go if I was first, trying to improve at a rapid rate. And I think the main selling point of this program is the daily group jungle coaching sessions. We have all these amazing jungle coaches, all challenger players, all have insane knowledge where you'll have your review, you'll have your VOD reviewed. And if you're looking to catch me, I'm on Friday and Sunday at 11 a.m. AEST. That is for Americans, that'll be the day behind, since you guys are behind us here in Australia. And yeah, just an insane resource. You have also the coaching VOD library. So if you want to, look up a specific matchup, you have the community asking questions, bunch of information just being shared. So I hope to see you guys all in the Jungle Academy. All right, so before we start talking about any fundamentals, I want to quickly point out, I am playing a game of Diana. This is around Emerald MMR. The reason why I've picked Diana is I really want to show you guys the fundamentals to this kind of carry playstyle. You need to pick champions that can farm very quickly, right? So champions such as, your Jarvans and your Skarners. What tends to happen is that these champions become a little bit more of a utility style of champion. So the main reason I'm picking Diana is not, you can apply this to any champion that can farm very quickly. That's the most important thing, that we're able to farm and we're able to make the most of when our team does these weird plays, and when the enemy jungle does these weird plays. We want to be able to maximize that potential. So Diana is a great pick for this. And yeah, before we get into the fundamentals as well, I want to quickly talk about some of the mindset stuff that I'm going to be referring to. So I'm going to be referring to a lot in this video, accepting reality of SoloQ, of your teammates, and that kind of thing. And I understand that SoloQ is very, very frustrating, right? But what's really helped me, and what's really helped a lot of the students achieve their goals, and the players that I've helped, is this idea of treating each game, instead of treating it like, okay, let's win or we're gonna lose, right? Treat this game as if it's like a test, right? We're trying to answer maybe 100 questions correct. You're trying to get as many questions correct as possible, and this is regardless of the outcome, right? You can still answer questions correctly even in a losing game, even when your team is inting. There are still decisions that you can make that is the correct answer. And as long as you're answering as many correct questions as possible, this is going to lead to improvement and consistency. And that's the number one thing when it comes to climbing that we need to know. All right, it's all about consistency. It's a math game. You're not trying to get a 99% win rate. You're trying to get a 55 or 60% win rate for whatever elo you're in. Obviously, you see, Challenger Smurfs, they get like 80% win rate or 90% win rate to Challenger, whatever. That's not the goal, right? The goal for you is to win more than you lose consistently. Okay, that's how we climb. Okay, so jumping into the fundamentals now. First and foremost, every single game you play, you got to lock in at Champ Select, okay? When you're in Champ Select, you want to think about things such as, say I locked in Diana this game. I want to think about my items as the very first thing. When champs start getting locked in, you want to lock in as well. You want to start thinking ahead of time. What thinking ahead of time is going to do is it's going to give you more space, more mental capacity when you're actually playing the game. So you don't have to think, oh, what boot should I build this game? Or what item should I build this game? You kind of already know because you've already done the pre-planning. So planning in a game of League of Legends is very, very important. Your brain is a CPU. You need as much space as possible. So in this game, as I'm pre-planning, I'm thinking, okay, what am I versing? I'm versing lots of AP. We have AP here, AP, lots of CC. So we have a silence, we have a knock up. Mercs is obviously very valuable here because there's so many AP champs. Yeah, 3 AP topside. So obviously Mercs is going to be very valuable. I'm thinking Ammo items. I'm thinking Banshees against like a Thresh Hook. I'm thinking, you know, Zhonya's this game. I don't know if I built it or not. But Zhonya's this game isn't... It's okay. But I think Banshees would... I think I actually did build Zhonya's this game. So make sure you think about what you're going to build ahead of time. So maybe if I'm going to build Mercs, then I'm going to build Zhonya's, right? Or maybe if I'm going to build... you know, you're thinking, oh, am I solo AP, right? Since I have Katarina, I'm not solo AP. So maybe Sork pen boots are not as good, right? So maybe Mercs and then maybe Zhonya's is okay. Like Zhonya's is okay, I guess, against Swain ult. It's not good versus Malzahar. It's okay versus these others, right? So Merc Zhonya's, for example. You know, if I had been solo AP, I'd be thinking, oh, maybe I can go Sorks and Banshees, right? That's what you're trying to figure out ahead of time. And then once that's done, you're trying to figure out your game plan now, okay? And so you're taking into account your champion identity, number one. What does my champion want to do? Does it want to, you know, am I good at ganking? Am I good at invading? Am I really good at farming? For this case, I've also chose Dyna because, you know, full clearing kind of junglers is a very consistent style. I'm not saying that you have to full clear to climb, right? If you're really good at invading, if you're really good at ganking, if you're good at doing those things are a skill, right? That you have to practice. If you're good at doing those things, you can easily climb playing Rek'Sai, right? Playing Elise. You just need to be good at that thing. I kind of think over the years, I've realized that, you know, sequencing your camps and like doing this full clear thing, that's a skill. Ganking junglers is also a skill. Combining them is obviously the ultimate, but League is a very complicated game. So yeah, choose a style that you can do that, right? And so in this game, a very easy way that the pre-game plan is simply, where can I get a kill? This is something you ask on every champion that you play, no matter what. You ask, where is most likely that I can get a kill? And the way we're going to do this is by going through volatility, gank setup, and the enemy's mobility, okay? VGM. So while you're in the load screen, you know, you don't have to do this to a crazy extent. You might not even know what lanes are volatile, right? And you can kind of learn that during, you know, playing the game. You got to play the game to kind of build up this knowledge base. But I'm going to go through and demonstrate for this game what this VGM looks like, kind of quickly, because you won't have that much time after you think about your items. You think about, okay, where can I get a kill? So top lane volatility. It's a Tryndamere versus a Swain. So Swain, I'm guessing, is a ranged, you know, I'm not guessing, it is a ranged champion. He's going to be poking Tryndamere. So one thing you want to look at with volatility is summoner spells and runes. Okay, so when you see TP, it's not volatile. When you see Ghost, right? Ghost Ignite is volatile, right? It means he wants to, you know, kind of go for something. So Grasp as well, not volatile. So you're looking at this. So in this lane, I don't think this is going to be very volatile, just because it's a ranged champion versus melee. It could be actually, you know what? Let's just assume we're not sure. It could be. We're going to give it a question mark. Gank setup doesn't exist. Tryndamere, right? He has a slow. It doesn't. That's not sufficient gank setup. Enemy's mobility. This is a big tick. So this is maybe, right? Maybe it might have some volatility. Doesn't have gank setup, but the enemy has no mobility. So this is a tick. Okay. Let's go through mid. Not the greatest, you know, it's not my first choice, I would say. Mid lane. Okay. Volatility. Again, another Ignite. Conqueror, right? It is a Malzahar though. A mage. He's probably just going to wave clear. Leave. Wave clear, leave. So another question mark. It just depends on how Katarina plays. It depends how my Tryndamere plays with these ignites, if they want to go for solo kills or not. So it's a question mark. Gank setup, non-existent. Enemy's mobility. So same kind of lane here. These two lanes. And when you have these kinds of lanes, when you're just not sure if it's going to be volatile, you just keep a watch on them, right? You just keep a watch. These are kind of lanes that I wouldn't be pathing towards and like, it's not like okay, 100% it's going to be volatile. It's kind of a lane that, oh, if I can just like pass by and pick up a kill, sure, I'll go for it if it's there in the moment. And now finally bot lane, right? as most games are, bot lane is looking like the lane here, right? Because we have a Thresh versus an Elise. Thresh Jinx is kind of safe. I mean, Jinx is immobile, but Thresh makes up for that with the Lantern. So volatility, we're going to give this another question mark. I'm guessing more towards this, but you know, for the sake of this video, giving question marks is good, right? Because you may not be sure. And in a game of League of Legends, anything can happen, right? A Malphite versus Ornn can go crazy. So, you know, volatility is definitely, sometimes it's more obvious than other times. You know, for example, if it's a Nautilus versus a Pyke, you know that that's just going to go crazy. But I think typically when you look at bot lane as well, you want to look at the support. You want to look at the support more than you do the AD carry. So if this was like Braum versus Rakan, these are two very, you know, even though Braum has his stun to set up, Rakan is very, very hard to kill. Rakan also, you know, these champions don't have the biggest kill threat just because of their kits. Whereas like a Blitzcrank versus a Nautilus, one thing lands and something can go crazy. So volatility, one last thing about volatility we're talking about is it means either they're going to be low HP from being poked. So for example, Xerath versus Brand, this is a volatile lane because they're just poking, and they're just getting lower and lower with no sustain. However, like a Soraka versus a Seraphine, low damage, and they have sustain. So that's no volatility. So that's how you can kind of think about it. Hook champions, typically volatile. Elise, right? All-in champion, has Ignite, has Electrocute, probably wants to fight. So we're going to lean more towards the tick. Gank setup, we have Cocoon, great. Enemies mobility, they have the Thresh Lantern. So, you know, depends, right? If we go for Thresh, obviously he's also immobile. So this kind of just wins out here. So when you're doing this, I know we went through it in extensive detail. You want to, again, do this quite quickly. But this is how we're thinking of things. And of course, you know, mindset-wise, we're thinking objectively, okay, which one is the best? Which one is the most consistent? Okay, we're pathing to bot. So now that we have that out of the way, we're thinking also about our champion. What does our champion want to do? What is our champion mastery? All right, so we're going to be talking about that. Let's play the game now. Let's see. So when I'm talking about my identity, I mean, I kind of like starting Raptors. So since there wasn't a really, really clear, you know, oh, do this game, this is really obvious. That's when you can kind of just play for yourself. And, you know, Diana loves to start Raptors because we love doing AoE camps. From a farming perspective, Diana actually clears the quickest when you do Raptors, Red, Krugs, and then you walk towards this Blast Cone and Blast Cone this way. So this is Champion Mastery. You need to look up your champion. You need to look up clears. You need to look up what other players that are better than you are doing, right? I do this all the time with this, you know, YouTube thing that I watch. And so what just happened just now, just to quickly talk about, is enemy team did a play here, right? So let's consider this again, right? The game is giving you a test, right? The game is giving you a test. Your Elise dies, your support dies, right? Are you going to take this as a, oh man, here we go again. I'm going to lose my LP. I'm going to demote. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Like, are we going to win? This Elise is trolling, whatever, right? The game is basically saying, here's your first question. How are you going to answer? And so when there's 5 people here, right? The answer is to get some information. Now, I didn't place a very good ward here at all. You want a ward late. That's why I'm kind of just walking in. I didn't know my ward was not, yeah. I was meant to place it here. So this ward is much better. We're just trying to get some information, right? We're using the fact that our Elise died, that there was 5 people there, and we're kind of making a move back. We're making a reaction based on the information. All right. So I should have muted all here as well. I kind of just forgot. Mute all every game. This is going to also help with this idea about you're playing a test. You're not going to get influenced by people's pings. You're not going to have that mental, you know, your mental stack be used up because someone's like, you know, flaming you or whatever. You want to really focus and lock in and have no distractions. So I should have muted all here. Mute all. The command is /mute all and then /mute pings all. /mute ping space all. So I'm starting Raptors. I have a ward on his blue, right? He's not starting his blue. So this is giving me kind of the information that he's starting on the bot side, right? I didn't actually ask for my team for a ward here, but whenever someone invades like this, you should try and get your team towards somewhere here, just in case enemy jungle does like Raptors to your blue or even just starts your blue side. So that's something that I didn't do this game, which I should have done. And so talking again about Champion Mastery, you know, most of the time people do Raptors to Krugs because it makes that sequencing better. But in this game, what I really care about more than anything is full clearing to bot as soon as possible. So that's why I'm going for this clear, because I just want to clear fast. So, you know, I used to actually do Raptors Krugs red, but you know, it makes me like 5-10 seconds slower, and being bot lane as soon as I can is going to be the most important thing. Now I'm checking here. You see my camera, right? I'm checking to actually physically see if the blue is being pulled like into this bush or something, just to make sure, right? I want to confirm the information. So now 100% enemy jungle is starting on the bot side. So you can see here, I'm doing this little clear. As you're walking between lanes, this is a very important fundamental. You want to click on the minimap on your camp, and then you want to look at lanes, okay? You're trying to gather information. As I said before about the pregame plan, as I said before about the items, you're trying to make decisions easier for yourself to gather information ahead of time. That is literally the premise of jungle. Gather information and make decisions. You want to be trying to make high percentile decisions. So I'm going to go over regular versus spare tempo. But essentially let's use this camera pan bot, for example. Okay. Now, this is my regular tempo because my bot side camps are up, right? So if I try and gank somewhere right now, even if I'm playing Dyna, even if I'm playing whatever it is, Rek'Sai, whatever, okay? I only want to gank in my regular tempo, which means my camps are up, when it's a guaranteed kill. So when people have flashes, when people are high health, high HP, right? This is not, when people could have a ward, this is not a high percentage gank, right? Even though there's one thing in my favor, which is the wave position. If I go and gank here and I just take Thresh's flash, this is not worth it. It's not worth for my game. It's not worth for my tempo. Now, when I talk about other champions, for example, like a Rek'Sai, the only difference here is that this gank becomes higher percentage because my champion is better at ganking. So for example, for Dyna, maybe this is a 40% chance to kill. But maybe for Rek'Sai, it's a 55% chance, right? It's still not good. I still wouldn't do it as Rek'Sai. But that's the difference between what kind of champion you're playing, right? The trade-off for Rek'Sai clearing slower than a Dyna is that his gank setup is better. And so this is where you start to get into champion identities. One champion doesn't have to gank. For example, Rek'Sai doesn't have to gank. It's just like he does because that gank is higher percentage than a champion that's not good at ganking, okay? So we're going to talk about spare tempo in a second. But we just clear down, right? We just keep clearing. So the whole idea as well about, you know, this carry kind of playstyle, this playstyle of caring about tempo. Okay, we care about tempo. We care about being back because I did start Raptors. We really care about being back to Raptors at 4 minutes, okay? So I'll explain further when we get there. So still, we're watching bot, right? We do another camera pan. We're watching bot. Okay, my Twitch is 1 health. My Twitch is literally 1 health. We know the enemy jungle is pathing up. However, here as well, we have to be a little bit... Honestly, I don't think I was scared enough, but we have to be a little bit cautious here of enemy jungle. So I'm still watching and then I decide, doesn't look good. So I started to walk then and I realized, doesn't look good. They still have flashes, right? Did Jinx actually flash it? Let me check. Did she? Let me check again. I think she flashed forwards on my minimap, but I missed it. So if I don't know, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna keep farming. I am a little bit cautious of the enemy jungle too. Could be around here, so yeah. So it wasn't high enough for me, right? It wasn't high enough for me. But now I'm getting to my spare tempo, okay? Now, the 2 reasons why I didn't go for those 2 bot ganks. Number 1, I'm thinking about the enemy jungle, okay? Enemy jungle may have done 3 camps and then is looking for something bot side. So I want to go on the timer where I'm more certain that he's probably like on wolves right now or going to his top side. It's very, very odd that he hasn't touched these camps yet. It's very odd. So I'm being cautious of that. He could still be bot here, to be honest, but it's a lot higher chance that now he has left here because he wasn't involved in the bot dive. He wasn't invading me. So what I'm thinking here is that, oh, maybe he looked for some kind of play, but then they like based or something. I mean, then they killed and then he based like enemy jungle. So now it's much more safe for me to gank. And now I'm also on my spare tempo. Spare tempo is when I have nothing to farm, okay? All my camps are down. My first camp here is spawning at 4 minutes, right? Which is my Raptors. And so when you do Raptor Path, basically what you're saying is that you're going to use your spare tempo back on yourself. But since I cleared so quickly, right, I have a lot of spare tempo. I have like 40 seconds here till my Raptor spawn. So I could base here. Comparing regular tempo and spare tempo here, it's okay if I gank this and I get some flashes, right? I can look for things. I can go here and clear this ward. I have spare time. I'm not going to lose anything from this. So in your spare tempo, you can look to gank. You can look to make a play. And so now we've made all the decisions, right? We have all of the macro, the mind stuff, the brain power. Now it's going to be about execution. I didn't know if Jinx had no flash here or not. It was kind of I wouldn't say I was hoping or anything here, but I just need to make sure that I flash Thresh, something from Thresh. So when Thresh is about to throw an ability, actually I do it before then. Okay, well I end up dodging it anyway. So we go for the play, right? Because it's my spare tempo. So I won't talk too much about the micro. Yeah, I kind of flashed. I should have been prepping my flash for like Thresh Flay. But that's about the execution. Q flash, right? Make it harder for Jinx to dodge the Q flash. And then we go into execute. Okay, so even if I just got Jinx flash here, that would have been okay, right? My flash for her flash, maybe it's not too good, but the main fundamental here is about the spare tempo. Okay, spare tempo, you can do things. Regular tempo, you shouldn't. Only guaranteed plays in the regular. You can look for whatever else in your spare tempo. Okay, so now we're taking crab. Now we're walking back to my raptors, right? Very, very important that I'm at my raptors at the 4-minute mark. And so finally Silas shows on the map, right? He finally shows. I'm still to this day, I'm actually not too sure what he did, but you should try and figure out what he did here. So I should be trying to count his CS. He was level 4. So I'm guessing he just did everything besides the blue and he dodged the blue ward. That's what I'm guessing. So we still know he did this. He probably did something like this, and then this. This is what we're kind of thinking he did. And so this is where like there's a trade-off, right? I cleared to bot faster. Maybe it got me the Jinx kill, right? It definitely actually did because I wouldn't have got that if not. But this is the trade-off. I have to wait for my Krugs now, which is okay. Okay. So that's round 1 complete. That's everything in round 1. Now we're resetting. Our camera is on the lane that we're going to path to next. I know that I'm going to be pathing down this way. So my camera is here. Again, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do out of base. This is why my camera is here. Okay, we're going to buy really quickly. All right, buy really quick. Go, go, go. Silas appears bot. So we know he's going to go to his bot camps now. I know that I don't have tempo now to go to his bot camps, right? These 2 camps are not mine. So I'm just going to be looking to go to my camps. And I'm also looking at this situation. Too often, guys, do I see people running out of base with their cameras on their character, okay? You need to be looking ahead of time. What that just told me here, this camera pan, is that I'm not going to be able to kill these guys because they're going to be able to push this wave before I get there. So now I'm deciding to do wolf. So it's, we're having a look at the minimap. These are also little minimap prompts, right? These are prompting you to look bot as well. You can look at these icons, these HPs, and it's like a prompt. 2 icons clashing against each other. That's also a prompt. Then you get your camera here. You have a look. Okay, am I going to make it on that wave? Can I kill them? No. Okay, do wolves. Right? Because I'm not going to make it. Not going to make it here. They're going to be gone by the time I do that. By the time I walk there. Okay, so next up. We know that Silas is pathing to top. And so how are we going to use that information that bot lane just based? Well, we can take dragon, right? So your bot lane just dies here, right? But somehow you turn this into a situation, right? At least died. Yeah, at least died. Twitch got low. And you can just turn that situation around into, okay, let's think about this. My bot lane died. They're losing, whatever, right? Don't focus on that. Focus on the objective information that's available. Remember, we're taking a test. The game is testing us constantly. Climbing is the game testing you. You are your true rank. That is exactly where you deserve to be, okay? Given enough sample size, of course. The game is testing you and your decisions all the time. So if you did anything else that's not dragon here, you're answering that question incorrectly, okay? This is how we think about it. Okay, so finally I mute all. All right, just get away any distraction. And we continue. Okay, so while you're also on an objective, right, this is also free time for you to think about the next play, right? So what's Silas gonna do? What am I gonna do afterwards? He's gonna path up like this. He's gonna maybe play for the grubs. I'm already finished the dragon, so I can't remember what I actually do here, but I'm guessing I go Gromp, right? I go Gromp. I'm thinking that this is gone. Okay, so interesting, right? Jinx is bot alone. And I've just done the dragon, and I know that Silas is clearing up like this, right? So if I go to grubs right now, we also need to think about supports. Okay, supports roam to grubs. So if Thresh doesn't show bot, it probably good chance means he's roaming to the grubs, right? So I'm checking here. Before I go to my grump, I'm checking. Okay, is this possible to fight? No, it looks like Swain has control of top. Grubs doesn't look that great, right? So I'm pinging here. I'm going question mark. What's happening? Silas is here. Maybe Thresh is here. Jinx is alone. So as soon as I confirm that that Thresh, I think, is topside. Okay, and then my Elise bases. So a good play here for me would have been trying to dive the Jinx. However, my Elise based. So we missed that window. So it is what it is, right? It's just dragon for grubs, right? Yeah, and see, we see there, Thresh is mid. So he was going to the grubs. So that's it, right? Now I'm pinging my Elise to come. Okay, it's too late. Too late, so we just go back to farming. Farm, farm, farm. Twitch is going for a roam mid. I'm waiting for my Krugs. So I'm hovering a little bit. Okay, that's finished. And I think this is my first big mistake of the game, actually. I'm thinking that, you know, Silas probably has camps to do here. And I'm thinking that Thresh also used his roam here. So let's see what happens, and then we'll talk about the mistake, because I do remember this. So I'm thinking like he used his tempo to take this and this. So maybe I can fight him here or take these. He's actually level 60, which is pretty surprising. This is like grubs versus dragon kind of XP. And so I fight him here. They obviously had a ward somewhere, and this is my first big mistake. Right? The big mistake here is that they were in this area. So there's a pretty good chance that this is probably warded. Okay, so I can't do this play. I didn't... I just wasn't thinking about warding. Whenever you walk into enemy camps like this, so we're walking in this way or we're walking in this way, you always want to try and have sweeper as well. But you want to sweep like this bush and these bushes and this bush. You want to sweep. Because if anyone sees you on a ward, of course, every single champion on the minimap, in the game, is going to try and react to try and kill you. So I make a mistake. What is the most important thing when you die? You ask this question to yourself. You ask, what's next? Right? What did they use? Did they use flash? Did they use Malzalt? Anything that they use that can be used, you know, positively, you ping it. So here, I think I ping... Yeah, okay. I ping Malzalt. Okay, that's it. That's all they use. And then I'm just asking what's next, right? I'm asking where am I going to pile out? Too often as well do I see players dwell on mistakes, and then it snowballs into another mistake, and it snowballs into another mistake. So you got to just get back locked in. Yeah, you died. It doesn't mean the game's over. Okay, it doesn't mean the game's over. You just got to keep going. So my plan here is just to clear down. I want to clear my weak side camps first into my strong side. I want to play around bot. That's why I'm doing my top side camps first. I want to play to this side, so I want to clear these camps first. This is the weak side, strong side fundamental. Always clear your weak side camps first, and then path into the strong side. That way, right? If I clear my weak side here, and then I kind of go and do something on the strong side, the enemy jungle doesn't have a trade here. He can't take my camps because I already took them. So I'm making sure, yeah, that side I've taken, and then obviously I'm on the side where my camps are actually alive. Okay, next decision. My Trinimir dies, right? So let's actually go back to see. So this is like a weak side timing that's what I call this. This is a very dangerous timing that I see a lot of players make mistakes. It's this weak side gank timer. Okay, in this case, I actually go for it, which I think was a little bit, the only benefit here that I have is that this guy wants to push this wave. So I'm reading enemy, you know, body language, right? I'm reading this guy's body language. He has no ult, so I know that I definitely win the 1v1, and I know that he wants to push this. Okay, those are the two things I know. I don't know if he has flash or not, and it's not my spare tempo. So for that reason, I think that this gank is incorrect. Now I have flash as well, so even if he does have, I mean, if he flashes my Q here, I think he would live, but he doesn't. So I kill him. So this is like I would say, because I'm playing an Emerald, this is actually a bad habit. Me going for this gank would not work in Challenger, in Grandmaster, in, you know, it just wouldn't work because the Swain would just flash my Q because he understands Diana, right? So this is why smurfing, this is why, okay, this will go on to my next thing. This is why you shouldn't smurf, because this is building a bad habit. This gank here is bad. I get the result is good, but it's not a good gank, because if he flashes my Q, right? This is what I like to call like a 50% win rate play. It works. The result is good because I kill Swain. right? But it's not a good play. He flashes my Q. I don't have enough damage to kill him. My E doesn't reset. Finished. And I've just made a massive mistake because then, you know, in a high elo game, then the enemy jungle is, you know, reacting and taking my camps and blowing up bot and whatever, right? So don't smurf. Don't play too much in, you know, a rank that's lower than what you are, because you'll build bad habits. Okay, so now I'm thinking, okay, Silas shows bot. So, you know, I'm automatically realizing, okay, well, I showed top. You know, he could be on my blue side. We do have some decent vision, and at least is roaming around, so it's a bit scary of him. But I'm simply just coming in to check camps, especially once I see him bot side here. I was already kind of checking here, just because I already was top side. And now, you know, I'm never gonna try and chase this play because it's just too far, right? I've already made my decision here to gank top. I just need to stay here now and take all the camps that are here. And this is going to be a very, very big round for me, actually. Because if you think about how much I'm going to farm now, just because I checked his top side. So yeah, my team does something good here, right? They actually kill the Silas for me, which is insane. It's so insane for me because I end up getting this. Actually, I'm not sure exactly how much I get. But this is another reason why I like, you know, or I suggest you play these kind of farming junglers, because you can make the most of the enemy jungler's bad decisions, of his bad, you know, you can make the most of the enemy jungler going for the hope ganks. And also in the mid game, which we'll go over, you can play uptime, downtime. You can play, sorry, you can't, we're going to be talking about uptime, downtime in the mid game, but you can play to have like 11, 12 CS per minute. And you can play to take waves, and you can play to, you know, you can do a lot more when your champion can farm fast. Farming fast, yeah, it's super, super important, honestly, when you're thinking about consistently playing to climb. Okay, so same thing again. We're clearing down, we're checking lanes. I got his top side, so you know, now I really am, you know, ahead in the game. You know, the way that you get ahead the most as jungle is when you farm efficiently and when kills just land in your lap. If you can farm and kill, that's the way you get the strongest as jungle. Farming efficiently and killing. So, you know, what I suggest is I really suggest you let plays fall into your lap. I'm not saying you AFK farm all game, but let plays fall into your lap. So again here, I'm accepting that I'm not going to be able to kill bot after my camera pans. They're going to base after that wave. I can't kill them. So I'm just going to base and play for the next best thing. Thinking about your item purchases as well. Think about when you want to base for you know, a big power spike like this. So here I was initially thinking that I'm going to trade because I'm too late to this fight. Yeah, and I am too late to this fight, right? The fight is going to be over by the time I get there. So I'm already in my trading. So match or trade, you want to always match when you're stronger, but you also want to trade when you don't have tempo to match, right? I don't have tempo to match here. If I ran there, yeah, I would get some grubs. Great. Okay, the fight actually does prolong. Yeah, but my mindset still is the same here. I think this is the correct decision. I'm just going to be too late to that. And so another thing here is that I actually got the first dragon. You know, grubs are pretty good this game. We have a Trinamir. But now I'm thinking about win cons. I'm thinking about this dragon as a win con. All right, getting this second drag. What you have to understand now is that when you have two dragons in a game, you have a really big advantage. The advantage is that the enemy team will put a lot of resources on this third dragon to try and stop you from taking it. And so with that kind of pressure, you can then take other things on the map. Now, the main thing here with win cons is that, okay, now I have two dragons. I want to use my lead now, right? In the jungle, I want to use my strength to try and get third dragon. And then if my team ints, right? Let's say third dragon spawning and my team all dies, right? I'm going to accept reality and then I'm going to trade. And then that one dragon for the enemy team doesn't really mean much. That's the whole idea. All right. So this is what I mean again by kind of kills falling into your lap, right? I think, let's see here. So I don't think any flash was pinged. Let's go back. Let's see the chat here. No flash was pinged. Okay. So I'm making a passing by play bot, our mid. Thresh is showing into the river. Smite the spell shield ult. I think even if he flashes here, he's still dead. So pass by kill. If I can farm and kill, that is the #1 goal, right? Farming and killing. That's That's the secret. Don't overforce any plays. Let them just fall into your lap. Enemy team will make mistakes. That's just something that you have to understand. You just have to be patient and not compensate for your team. So right now, right, the score is like 9-4. But I'm chilling. I have 2 dragons, right? I know, and be confident. Put yourself above the people in your elo, right? Put yourself above and think, I'm going to carry this game. The enemy team is going to keep making mistakes. I'm going to hold my composure, right? Okay. This situation, Silas is gating in, so I can't take Gromp. So I just say, okay, you can have it. I didn't have Smite. So I give it up, and we continue farming. You'll see, I'm going to be farming all game. When you get into mid game, which is going to begin in around 14 minutes, it's basically begun right now. What you want to do is play uptime, downtime. That's number 1. You want to always have an objective in mind. That's number 2. And you kind of want to think about yourself as you want to be on a camp, fight starts, you assess the fight, and then you walk to it if it's good, and you clean up. You want to always be trying to play cleanup crew. And I know it sounds like you're kind of playing for KDA, but this is like the carry mentality you want. You want other people on your team to take the focus of the enemy. For example, take the Malzahar ult. You want someone else to take the Thresh hook. You want someone else to start the fight for you, right? You don't want to be the one that goes in first, because obviously you're going to be focused down then, right? So you want to take camps, come to the fight. Clean up the fight, take the camps, take his jungle. That's the idea, especially in the mid game. So judging the map out of base here, I'm pathing to the bot side. You know, this Elise was like, I could have probably micromanaged the Elise a little bit better to ping. I think I was trying, but you know, he was on his own mission. That's okay. So here we're on the bot side. Not really much to do. So you're going to have these little like lull states where we can't dive Mal's. The bot lane is mid. My Elise is top, getting 1v2'd. Okay, pause, right? Silas shows here. My Twitch is moving. So this is the first 3v3, right? This is a 3v3 because Mal's is bot. So with this Twitch move, right? I'm going to play the fight here. I also saw Thresh mid. So this was just little bit about map awareness. This was just map awareness. My Twitch pushes in bot. So he has a move to here. So I want to create some kind of fight here. So any fight I will take here, I will take it. So we get it. It's just a pick, right? It's just 1 kill. 1 kill. As soon as you get that kill, never look to go back to your camps here, right? Unless, of course, his camps are like impossible to take. Whenever you kill enemy jungle, look into his jungle. Always. Don't go back to the Raptors. Take enemy camps. Because you want to take these while he's dead. And then while he's alive, right? Then you take your camps. Because he's not going to be able to take your camps while you're alive, right? So take his camps first, right? Thresh is going to stop you. Be confident, right? You do have to take a little bit of care here because people are, you know, aware and watching you. So be aware. Small details about this, right? I'm pulling it out. If I'm just hitting it right here, standing here, the chance of me dying goes up a lot. But I'm confident here because I have Smite. I can use the blue to kind of tank the hook. I have Flash ready. I'm watching his hook. So these little details are something that you have to practice as well. But they are crucial. They are crucial to getting the maximum out of the game. In some games, right, the Thresh isn't going to react there. They're not going to have a ward and you're going to be able to get blue and Gromp. Okay, back to farming. So I have 1,000 gold. I don't really want to base yet. Right, so I'm just looking for yellow dots right now. I'm literally just looking for yellow dots. I probably could have based here for Sorks. I don't think it would have been bad. I would have also synced up my base with Katarina, which would have been good. So I think I should have based that. Okay, fight happens mid. Right? Fight happens mid. I don't have ult. This round was not very good. I should not have been fighting here. However, the dragon is spawning now. So now it's about this dragon. Okay, can I make the difference in this dragon fight? So we're going to be watching. Remember, I always just want to keep farming. I just want to keep farming. Okay. Enemy tries to go up mid. So in this case right here, right? I'm killing this. I know that Mal's was bot. And I know that Silas was running this way. So at best, it's a 2v2 here. And then Mal's could TP, which is okay. Because I can react to that. So instead of going to blue here, I actually look to make a play mid. They have Thresh Lantern. This was kind of Yeah, it's like kind of hard to play against Threshers, Dana, but if you're very decisive, right? And you'll see how this punishes me later on in the game. If you're very decisive, you can do it. So now when the enemy uses their resource here, so I just use my ult, I make my play. Now, right, when people, you know, someone moving somewhere is like a resource being moved. You rarely want to match when someone is using a resource like this, your bot is pushing for free. So you're already winning. What you want to not do is give them what they want, right? So I don't want to go here when Silas could be here. I don't want to make another play. I made my play. Now I just want to go back and farm my camps or get ready for Dragon. So I have 2k gold here. I think basing would be a good idea. Let's see. Okay, I just be greedy, right? I'm just greedy. And as you can see here, Silas was right behind him. So, right, we're winning for free. Think about it like that. The game is giving you another test. Will you fight this Malzahar here after making a good play mid? If you do, you may just throw away a good thing that you just did. Look, my Katarina right now is pushing bot for free. They get denied a wave. So because Mal's roamed mid and they found nothing, he just loses a wave. That's a win, right? That's a test question you're getting correct. Okay, now I decide to base. This is third Dragon. I think I'm looking to trade here. And I'm typing it in the chat as well. I know you guys can't see that. But I'm typing give here. And I'm going to play to trade. The reason for this, right? The main reason for this is just because no ults, right? No ult. No ult. So even though Dragon is kind of my win con, I would much rather take a fight later on than take this 50-50 chance for this Dragon that means nothing. I can take the Rift instead and make a trade play, right? This one Dragon for them means nothing. This is something that you have to understand. This is like one of the most important things to carrying, being able to give something. Look how many resources they're using. They're TPing. And if your team ends up just going here and dying, don't worry, right? They're going to die anyway. There's nothing you can do. Backping them, do what best you can, like I'm doing. So this is super, super essential. Give them the Dragon. I'm telling my Trinimir, hey, go push top. And now, because we, you know, they took Dragon first, we can't actually rift top right now because they can obviously just react here. Now, if we were already taking the Dragon ahead of time, we would be able to rift. So you got to think about that as well, right? It's a 1-for-1. They take Dragon, we take rift. So now the tempo is even again. And this is my second biggest mistake of this game. I didn't play the minimize well. Okay, so this is where you have to minimize because again, they're using all their resources mid. The minimize play for me, and you know, even myself, I'm not immune to making these kinds of mistakes. So it's very difficult, right? The minimize play here is taking the Raptors and then walking this way and trying to defend the tower slowly, or just taking my Krugs and giving, right? This is what minimizing is. Minimizing is, it's not trading, it's not matching. You're just not dying, right? You're just trying to get what you can. Get this Raptors, defend mid, don't die. That's what minimizing is, because you have no other play. I don't have a trade play here. What I don't, you know, kind of anticipate is this Thresh just being a maniac and going in, okay? So I trade 1-for-1, but this is not very good. I'm giving them what I want, what they want. They're putting resources here. The best I can do is minimize, take the Raptors, come around here, queue this wave, and just minimize their play while my team is winning here. So this was a really, really big mistake. Even though I traded 1-for-1, I gave a big bounty to Malzahar. So I need to improve this minimizing here. I need to not give them this play. And let's say something like this happens to you, right? Thresh goes over the wall. All you need to do is add this to like your, you know, your experiences, right? Now you'll know next time, okay, this is a play that Thresh can make. And that's how you view this. Okay, so we're dead. Spawning. Okay, we're talking about uptime, downtime now. My Elise is in base. My team is still setting up. So this is time for you to farm your own camps. Farm your own camps. Elise is still in base. And as soon as this guy shows on this wave, right, we're punishing. So beforehand, I see Malzahar bot here. Okay, so when you see this kind of thing, what the mid game starts to become about is about protecting waves, okay? You want to try and protect waves on your uptime. I know my Elise is still AFK here, but Jinx is also dead. So when my Trind and when my team starts contesting all these waves, this is when it starts to become uptime. This is when I need to try and start thinking about catching someone on this wave or fighting this mid wave or fighting this top wave. I want to just look at these waves in the mid game. Okay, so once I see Mao's bot, there is always a chance that he will come and push this. If he doesn't push this, I'm just going to take camps and then shadow the Tryndamere as he pushes. When lanes also start playing out, right? Thresh shows mid, Jinx shows mid. All right, this guy made the move. He made his move. If Silas is here, that's okay. We can win the 2v2. So this is another way I'm translating my lead. Okay, so my Trynd doesn't go. Okay, so there was another scenario actually where we do catch him. Okay, it wasn't that scenario. He cleared the wave too fast. But you want to be looking at those waves. Do you see how bad it is that he was able to clear that wave? This was so terrible that he was able to clear this wave, which I think, you know, my Trynd just needed to go and fight him and clear the wave. It's super terrible that he was able to clear this wave because now look what happens. Look at the map now, right? If he wasn't able to clear that wave, we would actually be the ones pushing here and killing the mouse. But because he was able to kill it, now we don't, you know, we only own like this much of the map, right? If we had pushed this wave, we would own this much of the map. So our map, we would just have more pressure. So protecting waves, this is a very important fundamental in the mid game, knowing what wave you're going to fight on. Now we come to this a very important fight. So this is what I mean about letting someone else take the focus. If you go in here, I mean, obviously against Malzahar, it's very certain death. But even if I wasn't versing Malzahar here, you want to let someone else take it, take the focus, right? And then you can go in and then you can play for the fight. So they actually TP here. This actually could be a bad fight because, actually no, who was a TP? Oh, Silas got. Oh, it was just, oh no, it was Swain TP. Yeah. So it was 4v4 overall. And so after the fight happens, right? We don't want to stay around here. This is the fundamental of you let someone else take the focus, you clean up the kills. And then what's good about this is that you get to clean up the farm. Okay. So I was about to go and clean up the farm, but you still have to be aware, right? Still have some awareness here. You know, they're chasing down the Twitch. Okay. Of course, we'll take another kill over the top side CS. But yeah, if there was no mid play, this is a time where a fundamental of you farm, your team starts a fight, you assess. If it's good, you go to it, you clean up. If not, you let them die. That's your mentality in the mid game to carry. This is the carry mindset. All right, so we kill. Now it's just downtime. When your team is dead, this is time for you to do this. Farm your camps. Your Trynd is dead, your Twitch is dead, farm your camps. Then when they start spawning, so this is called syncing up. You want to sync up your base with these guys here. So obviously I had nothing else to farm here. But like, don't go and take like the scuttle now. Okay, go and spend your 2k gold and sync up with your team now. Okay, so syncing up. This is Artican timing. Something that you should think about with this objective is just that whoever starts it generally loses, especially in like even numbers. So you don't really want to, when this thing spawns, you don't want to just run here and guard it, okay? Too many times I've seen people just run here and just run around here and guard it. All you need to do is make sure that you know if they start it. That's the most important thing, okay? Make sure we know if they start it, then everything's okay. All right, so this is the play that I mean, all right? This is about protecting waves. So now it's uptime again, right? My Elise is AFK again. Same situation. No wonder I got confused. So this is the exact same situation as before, but watch the difference when we protect this wave. Watch the difference in this round. Okay, he actually still ends up clearing it, I think, because, I don't know, Malzahar's OP. So it would have been really good that we protect the wave here, so we can actually make a play. But in this case, their team rotates first, and he ends up getting the wave anyway. But that wave was super crucial. So yeah, even in these games, right, your Elise is like perma AFK, you still have plays. You can still, even if you lose a game like this, same mentality. You're trying to answer questions correctly. If you end up losing, brush it off. It is what it is. You know, learn and move on. Okay, let's keep watching. So I think this is the timer where we kill. Enemy collapses, Twitch dies. Tryndamere is coming, so we need to stall some time. You can use Rift Child to escape. In this case, I think I use it to fight. So Rift Child is a great tool to use to fight. We do some drifting. Oh yes, I remember this fight. I could have played this fight a lot better. So, you know, even with these fights, you know, I just did not see those traps. This could have been a very, very good fight here. Much better than what it was still good, of course, but so this is where you make your play, right? This is where all of that work that you've been doing so far, all the times where you're not you know, losing your agency. I know I had other mistakes this game, but this is where like you have that carry time. So yeah, you do need to be good at your champion. You do need to know how to fight to make the impact in this game. But all right, so after a fight, we're always looking, what can we take? Dragon. Okay, this is third dragon, so that's huge for us. Very important when your team is doing stuff like this, don't join them. Okay, don't join these troll plays. Just do your own thing. This is what's so crucial about downtime, right? Because, you know, everyone complains what my team is throwing. My team's so bad, why are they doing this? But then you go join them. No, don't join them. Go to your own thing. Farm the dragon, farm the midway, farm your camps, whatever else. Okay, use your team as a distraction. All right, so at least dies. So we're back to minimizing. We can't trade. We can't match. It's downtime, so we're just farming. I am kind of farming for death cap, I think. No, my death cap is actually far away. Never mind. So simple, right? Even though I'm so strong here. My team gets caught. It is what it is. We accept reality here. This is a part about accepting reality. This is where the game will test you again. Are you going to go and, you know, compensate and try and fight this 3v5? Right? If you do that, you're going to answer this question incorrectly. So here, match or trade. Let's try and trade. Let's trade this mid tower. So even though it's just a small trade, right? It's a trade. We're trading his bot side camps now. So this round is something everyone can really look at in mid game. Just giving, accept reality. It's done. Go and look for a better fight. That fight is like 10% chance. Enemies will still make mistakes, so just wait for them to make mistakes. And this is something, as you'll be able to see, what's coming up next. Something that I am not, again, immune to. It's something that I'm not perfect at. I don't think many people are. Best players in the world are, for sure. So this is the same thing about reacting, right? We're farming, and we're reacting. So you want to be the guy that reacts and cleans up. You don't want to be the guy, you don't want to be the Katarina in this case. You want to come and clean up. So you come, you clean up the kills. When you clean that up, it means that you clean up the tower. It means that you clean up the camps. Right? Look at the CS. Look at the CS. This is the Diana, the farming jungler carry fundamentals. So then, you know, Silas is sad. We take all his camps. We clean up the fight. Trinity is dead. So another down tempo. When it's in down tempo, when all your team's tempo lines are kind of all over the place. Well, this is mainly because Trinity is dead. In this case, again, you want to minimize. You're playing down tempo. You do not want to fight here. So we don't want to fight, right? Team's getting caught again. Again, the same thing again. The enemy is using their resources here to kill. All we're doing, so this time, you know, I played much more controlled. I didn't try and do anything, you know, crazy. And I say that when you're about to watch is coming up. I'm waiting for my team to gather. Still, we're just playing very, very slowly. Waiting for the chance. Still waiting. Still waiting. And now I think I have the chance here, right? I think this is where the fight can be good. Even though it is, you know, because when you think about fights, right, you want to think about numbers. That's number one. So when I see Swain bot now, that's kind of like my go button, right? That's like my, okay, we actually can fight now. I have Zhonya's, right? I'm all ready to go. Thresh just used hook. So I go for the play. And as you can, you know, kind of watch it, I mess it up, right? I mess up the engage. I get caught. And this is kind of the finale of this game. This is the last thing I'm going to be talking about in this game because we do end up losing straight after this. But it's okay to lose these kinds of games. It's okay to play this team fight and try, right? And learn from it. It's frustrating, of course, to lose these kinds of games. But if you play like this, if you're just answering the questions on the test, if you do that consistently, you will not lose more than you win, okay? You will definitely win more. Your win rate, remember, we're trying to hit like a 60, 55, 60% win rate. We're not trying to get like 99% win rates. So yeah, we lose. And that's the reality, right? That's, you can have all that hard work and you can still lose. So that was kind of like the point of why I chose this VOD in particular. But that's going to conclude this review. Guys, if you learned something from this video, if you're able to apply it in your own games, leave it in the comments below and I'll see you all in the next one.